Hello everyone, I'm Craig Powell, a realtor with eXp Realty and a member of the Wolfpack team, which I'll talk about towards the end of this video. I sincerely appreciate you joining me today. Your support means a lot to me. So if you find this content valuable, I kindly request that you show your support by hitting the like button. Furthermore, I encourage you to drop any questions you may have, as I'm committed to providing comprehensive answers, even beyond the 8 that we'll be discussing today. If you're interested in a one-on-one meeting with me to discuss anything eXp related, whether it's a Zoom meeting or an in-person meeting in the greater Moncton area over a coffee, I'd be glad to help. Okay, let's get started with these questions, starting with question number 1. Does eXp Realty provide local broker support? Many people wonder about this aspect due to eXp Realty being a cloud-based brokerage. The common concern is what happens when you work with a sponsor from a different region, state, or even country. However, eXp Realty has ingeniously structured its system to address these concerns effectively. Firstly, they have multiple brokers available in every market, ensuring that you always have access to local support, regardless of your experience level as an agent. Moreover, unlike other franchise brokerages, which I won't name, overload their brokers with various responsibilities. eXp Realty's brokers have a focused role. This distinction allows them to dedicate their time and expertise solely to supporting agents. In fact, eXp Realty boasts over 950 dedicated employees who handle crucial tasks such as onboarding, training, marketing, compliance, and transaction reviews. By dividing these responsibilities among specialized professionals, the brokers can provide you with immediate and personalized attention. It is worth noting that eXp Realty's compensation structure ensures that brokers remain impartial, regardless of an agent's production level. It fosters a fair and unbiased environment. Question number 2 often revolves around the suitability of eXp Realty for new real estate agents. It's interesting to note that more than a third of the agents in eXp are new agents, and their success stories are quite astonishing. We've had new agents join eXp and achieve remarkable feats, such as closing dozens of deals in their first year, even in unfamiliar markets where they had no existing connections. Surprisingly, they accomplished this without engaging in extensive prospecting or spending money on advertisements. It's truly incredible. However, there are a few key considerations for new agents at eXp Realty. On the downside, eXp Realty provides a wealth of resources right from the start, which can sometimes be overwhelming for newcomers. To address this, Mike's team has developed a tailored 90-day accelerator program exclusively for new agents. This program helps you streamline your focus, allowing you to bypass the clutter and concentrate on the essential tasks. Mike noticed that new agents in other groups often felt overwhelmed and unsure of where to begin, so he made it a priority to alleviate this common pain point. And from personal experience, it works, and now I teach it. Nevertheless, the advantages of joining eXp Realty as a new real estate agent are significant. The caliber of training and level of support offered are unparalleled, providing an exceptional opportunity for growth and increased compensation compared to other brokerages. One of the things I discovered early on was my access to thousands of industry leaders, all with unique skills due to their multi-tiered structure of eXp. For instance, within my organization, the Wolfpack, Mike Sherrard specializes in modern marketing, branding, lead generation, and digital strategies, all of which he provides to every agent who partners with us at no additional cost. This is called Social Academy 3.0 and was a personal game changer for me. There are multiple weekly meetings with ever-evolving content, and on top of that, you'll encounter in your time with eXp thousands of individuals who contribute unique strengths and knowledge. As a new agent, this multi-tiered structure enhances your learning potential and widens the scope of your professional growth. Okay, question number 3. Do I need to recruit to survive at eXp? Now, question number 3 revolves around the necessity of recruiting, a factor often overlooked. Allow me to shed light on this topic from various angles. Firstly, it's essential to emphasize that recruiting is not a requirement at eXp. You can thrive here without ever attracting a single agent. In fact, based on the Iconic program, you can potentially earn more money here than at any other brokerage, even if your sole focus is on production. However, it is crucial to address a common misconception. People tend to assume that agents at eXp Realty solely focus on recruiting. Let me clarify this misunderstanding. Suppose I'm affiliated with another unnamed brokerage and someone reaches out to me on social media, or it could be a friend or family member, and they ask for advice on which brokerage they should join after obtaining their real estate license. Now, in that case, I would naturally recommend the brokerage I'm working for, right? The drawback is that in those scenarios, you typically receive zero compensation for making such recommendations. Contrastingly, at eXp Realty, you have the opportunity to bring individuals into a transformative brokerage model, introducing them to a platform with superior training, tools, support, and ample room for growth. You not only provide them with a secure future and a retirement exit strategy, but you also earn compensation for your efforts. Essentially, you're performing the same action you would at any other brokerage, but at eXp Realty, you receive substantially more in return for your contribution. Therefore, while recruiting is not mandatory, it allows you to maximize your rewards while engaging in familiar activities. Okay, what is the stock program and how will it benefit me? Let's take a different perspective on this. So, at my previous brokerage, we had an award program. You hit a tier in production, and they give you an accolade in the form of a framed plaque and some digital content that you can add to your social media. I won a couple of these myself, and I worked very hard to become a top producer. It wasn't until I joined eXp that I realized there was no real business advantage. However, at eXp Realty, things are different. When you meet certain production requirements and become an icon agent, you not only receive a trophy, but you regain your entire $16,000 cap annually in the form of company stock. Absolutely free. There are several realtors that have soared into multi-seven figures solely based on their production without ever relying on agent attraction. And if it was any other brokerage, this would have been impossible. Now, let's delve into the specifics. Most agents enter the real estate industry with the goal of creating wealth. And this requires four key elements, forming the wealth quadrant: duplication, equity ownership, passive residual income, and multiple streams of income. At eXp Realty, they encompass all four of those, and they call that the wealth quadrant, making it an ideal choice for those seeking true wealth creation. In contrast, traditional brokerages fall short. They limit agents to a single income stream that demands constant time and effort. Why settle for a brokerage that hinders your wealth building aspirations when you can join eXp Realty and thrive? And the beauty of eXp Realty lies in the fact that by merely being an agent here, you automatically embark on a wealth creation journey. Moreover, through revenue sharing, you gain the ability to accomplish two essential goals. Firstly, many individuals consider family as a cornerstone of their lives, and the same holds true for me. If unfortunately something were to happen to me tomorrow while I was at a different brokerage, my family would inherit only what I've accumulated until today. However, at eXp Realty, if something were to happen to me, my family would inherit everything I've built. Not only that, but they would retain it as long as I maintain an active license. This provides a sense of security and a safety net for your loved ones. Secondly, at other brokerages, when you retire after dedicating, let's say, 20 years to the business, your income plummets to zero. However, at eXp Realty, your revenue share remains intact as long as you maintain an active license. This means that if you choose to retire at, say, 50, for example, after investing several decades into the industry, you still have a reliable stream of income through revenue sharing. You gain a security blanket for your loved ones and a well-defined exit and retirement plan. Joining eXp Realty not only grants you access to a stock program with substantial benefits, but also ensures a comprehensive approach to wealth creation through the wealth quadrant. The opportunity to leave a lasting legacy for your family and enjoy a worry-free retirement adds to the appeal. Okay, question number 5, what are the fees at eXp? Now, because I am in New Brunswick, Canada, I'm going to focus on the Canadian fees. In the USA, it's slightly cheaper because of the exchange rate. So, there is a one-time startup fee of $199. The monthly brokerage fee is $139, and for each transaction there's a nominal $29 broker review fee and a modest $17 E&O insurance fee. Remarkably, the E&O insurance caps at just $200. You're split 80-20 until you reach the $16,000 cap. Once you reach that cap, you enjoy 100% commission until your anniversary date. Now, there is a $285 transaction fee, but if you achieve 20 deals after capping, you obtain the esteemed title of Icon Agent. This grants you the opportunity to recover your $16,000 cap through company stock, and your transaction fee reduces to just $75. Okay, question number 6 pertains to the structure of eXp Realty and the question of whether it resembles a pyramid scheme. Now, this topic may generate mixed opinions, so let's delve into it by examining the setup of a traditional franchise brokerage without mentioning any specific names. Now, consider any brick and mortar office in your city and contemplate how most of them are organized. At the apex, you have the brokerage ownership, followed by the international owners such as those who invest in eXp Brokerage Canada. Below them, you'll find the regional owners like those who purchased eXp Brokerage Alberta, for example. Further down the pyramid, you have the broker owners who establish eXp Brokerage in your precise city, such as Calgary. And finally, occupying the base are the agents forming the base of the pyramid. Now, let me shed some light on a significant aspect. In 2021, eXp Realty allocated over $20 million back to the agents. Consider where that money would have gone in a traditional franchise brokerage. It would have been distributed among the intermediaries, the international, the regional, the broker owners who bought into the company, rather than benefiting the agents at the bottom. And conversely, eXp Realty operates on a different principle. And I'm going to clarify that arrangement for you. We have the ownership of the brokerage, and alongside it, we have the agents. There's the remarkable part. The majority ownership of the brokerage lies with the agents. Therefore, our structure resembles a solid brick, while most franchise brokerages are structured in a way that resembles a pyramid. Now, it's understandable if this discussion sparks a back and forth debate, and yes, we do have a 7-tier system that enables us to receive compensation by positively impacting the lives of other agents. However, when you examine the underlying structure of the brokerage, it's worth considering which one generally resembles a pyramid. Okay, question number 7. How do you feel about not having an office? Well, this one was huge for me. In fact, it made me hold on to my former brokerage a lot longer than I should have. I am a very social person, and I felt that it was very important to have connections within my office and see my coworkers often. I perceived this as an advantage, but I quickly noticed that only a handful of people actually use the office. And yes, it was kind of cool having a shared office with a colleague and have friendly business-related chats, but there was no unique advantage to being there. Most of my former realtors were not interested in sharing or helping in any way, as I was perceived as competition by most, especially early on in my career. Since I joined this cloud-based brokerage and found a great Wolfpack team with Jenny Selly as my personal sponsor, I discovered not only the social aspect in which I was seeking, but access to an enormous ecosystem of realtors through the country that I had no previous access to, and they all want to help you. Brick and mortar brokerages are a thing of the past, and it's a direction a lot of companies are going. Okay, let's get to that final question, number 8. Does your sponsor matter? Yes, it does. I'm going to give you my personal backstory, and then you decide for yourself who you want your sponsor to be. Now, I discovered Mike Sherrard long before I joined. I watched his videos along with other eXp producers, but I kept coming back to his content as a lot of it hit home with me. I kept on with my current brokerage, obtaining a couple of sales awards, but I felt I was at an impasse in technology. And although I was arguably the strongest in technology in my office, as I have an extensive tech experience, I needed someone to help fill in those gaps as it related to real estate. Now, don't get me wrong. Mike's content on YouTube is stellar, but I needed more. And it was after several meetings with my now sponsor, Jenny, and several weekly meetings with Mike and the Wolfpack, where I finally made the choice to move on. And let me tell you, It was the best thing I ever did, and I'm still kicking myself for not doing it a year earlier. Jenny has been very helpful in showing me everything eXp has to offer and how she leveraged Mike's social media strategy. More than that, she's a positive-minded individual like myself, and it seemed like a good fit to name her as my sponsor. I'm pleased to say the experience with the pack has been overwhelmingly positive, and I enjoy my daily talks with my fellow realtors who I now consider close friends. Now, we have a growing team here in New Brunswick, and it is my hope to lend my 30-plus years of vast experience in sales, marketing, technology, graphic design, web design, and more to help grow this team through positive interaction, team sharing content, and help new Wolfpack members get onboarded. No wolf gets left behind, and I am happy to sit down with anyone who wants to know more about eXp and the Wolfpack and how our group can help you succeed. Because if you succeed, we succeed. In short, eXp is just getting started. And as of May 2023, eXp has over 87,000 realtors worldwide. If you consider that 80% of all licensed realtors are outside of North America, and it's a company's goal to hit 500,000 in the next 5 or 6 years, that leaves a huge amount of opportunity to grow this business right here at home. In New Brunswick, we just soared past 100 realtors, and it's growing like crazy with announcements of new realtors coming over every week. If you are a new realtor or a realtor looking to make the leap, I hope that I can be your personal envoy into eXp and help get you started. With my vast amount of experience, I can make the onboarding process easy. Myself, Mike, Jenny, and the rest of the pack are here to help and answer any questions you may have, and look forward to speaking with you in the near future. Now, if you have any other questions, drop a comment below. I will make sure all of them are answered. I want to make sure you have the right information when you're looking at exploring this incredible brokerage. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.